Hi, I'm Howard Jackson from Open Door Multimedia, and this afternoon I'm in Sankey Valley Park, pretty near to Bluebell Wood. A bit early for the bluebells, but when they come it's absolutely beautiful. I'm doing a bit of filming and I'm walking the dog as well, and that's as near as fellas get to multitasking, so I'm doing okay. And in this film I'm going to talk a little bit about a networking breakfast at St Helens Chamber that happened this week. Now, I've been a member of the Chamber for the best part of 3 years now, and I've been going to the networking breakfasts for quite some time, and I found them really useful, and I'd say pound for pound, hour for hour, they've been the most productive networking I've done since I set up the business. This time there was a really good turnout, and the format for the morning is that you get your cup of coffee, you get your bacon butty, and then you start talking to people. This time, first of all, I talked to Anthony Shaw. Now, Anthony's a new start graphic designer. I talked to him a couple of months ago and corresponded with him a little bit since then, and hopefully to help him on his way a little bit. Surprising just how many people walk past in Sankey Valley Park. So talked to Anthony, then I moved on to Chris Scarisbrick. Now, Chris is a first aid trainer. I see Chris regularly at networking events, not just at the Chamber, but lots of other places. Like me, he's on the circuit, but a real nice fella. Then I talked to a lady from Lancaster University, and her and a colleague had come to the Chamber offering a training programme, a 2-day programme, which is about business growth. It's free and it's available to, with some restrictions, but it sounded very interesting. So I had a chat with her, and then another cup of coffee, and I sat down with John Matthias. Now, John's on the marketing side at the Chamber. I've actually done some work for him in the past, which is interesting. But we talked about two things. The first was some support that is on offer to me as a local business about business development, and particularly I'm interested in marketing. That's an area I want to sort of work on over the coming year. So we talked about that a little bit, and then I mentioned to John that I'm putting together a training package to help businesses, charities make use of the iPhone. And this film is, I don't know if I said at the start, but this film will be entirely filmed and edited on the iPhone. I bought the iPhone 4S, which is a long way from the top of the range, just before Christmas, and over the last month or so I've been putting together the package. Been really impressed with the video quality and the audio quality. At the moment I'm using an external mic which cost an almighty £11 off eBay, and you'll be able to tell what the quality is like by listening. So anyway, after talking to John, I then sat down and talked to a Bulgarian interpreter, only in St Helens Chamber. She was introduced by Tracy Mawson at the start of the meeting, and I was interested because one of the areas I want to develop via Open Door Multimedia is producing films for businesses who want to export across the world, or for local businesses who want to represent foreign businesses in this country. So it was good to talk to her. I then sat down with Dave Sheridan, who I met through the Horizon networking group, which is another active group in St Helens, and by chance we got talking about social media and a contact that he'd got who is a Japanese translator. So within the course of about 15 minutes I talked to two people who can put me in touch with translation services. So that's something I will be developing over the next month or so. So really, a couple of hours well spent, I'd say, and I've always been impressed with the networking meetings. Sometimes it's by planning, sometimes it's purely by accident, but you do bump into some interesting people, and people who've got the potential to develop your business for you and to give you business. So St Helens Breakfast Networking, definitely recommended by me. I'm Howard Jackson, Open Door Multimedia, and I'll talk to you soon.